Engine C failed instantly. Engine B survived multiple regimes, but Engine A was different. This is the engine that survived 12 years of real historical conditions. Not flawlessly, not magically, but structurally. This is Walk Forward Analysis, Part 3. Engine A is the foundation of the ZenWave portfolio, built not for speed, not for short-term precision, but for long-term structural behavior. It doesn't rely on volatility clusters or short-term noise patterns. It depends on something simpler and harder to break: long-term market structure. That's why A gets the longest timeline and the hardest test. Walk-forward analysis works the same way. Train in sample, freeze parameters, test on unseen data, move forward, repeat. But for a long-term engine, each slice spans multiple years, not just months. This is where most strategies fall apart, because behavior that looks stable in a long backtest can collapse under shifting regimes. Engine A didn't. Before I show you the slice-by-slice results, a quick note. When I first ran A's walk-forward analysis, I wasn't thinking about YouTube or documentation. I didn't save each individual slice's parameter set, only the reports. But the reports contain exactly what matters: the in-sample behavior, the out-of-sample behavior, and whether the logic held up. And the final consolidated parameter set is the version that went live. So everything you're about to see is the real walk-forward performance of Engine A. Slice by slice, regime by regime, Engine A showed what matters most: generalization. It behaved like a strategy that's not dependent on one volatility environment or one narrow window of time. And when you look at all the slices together, the grid of in-sample and out-of-sample results, you see the full picture: consistency, survival, long-term structural behavior. Engine A didn't pass because it performed well. Engine A passed because it stayed intact across more than a decade of unseen shifting market data. This is why long-term engines exist, not to impress you with monthly returns, but to survive realities the backtest never shows. Walk-forward analysis doesn't expect perfection. No strategy wins every slice. No engine behaves ideally across 12 years. The question isn't, was it always profitable? The question is, did the structure hold? For A, the answer was yes. That's why Engine A is live. That's why it anchors the portfolio. That's why it's the final chapter of this trilogy. This closes out the Walk Forward series and the final episode of 2025. Engine C failed. Engine B survived. Engine A endured a full decade. But the real story starts now. Walk-forward analysis tells you a system should work. Forward performance tracking, a monthly look at live performance versus backtest, will show what actually survives. 2026 will tell the truth. Now, before the outro, just a small message for the only people who've seen this project from day zero. To my wife, my mom, and my dad, thank you for giving me the time, space, and trust to build something that didn't even have a name at first. None of this would exist without you. And to my in-laws, thank you for the example you've always set, your work ethic, your long-term mindset, and the way you build businesses that last. All of that shaped how I approach ZenWave more than you know. Whatever ZenWave becomes next year, it started with all of you.